Hello everybody. We are going to work on the video worksheet for 7.2 and 7.3, which will be your homework for Monday. So remember, on Monday you will have this sheet, hopefully, done well because you watched the video, and then you would also have the homework that I gave you attached to this sheet, and you will do it so that you will be ready for the quiz that we will have on Monday. So remember that right now we have 3 more class days, 2 final review days, and a final exam. So that's getting close. All right, so question number 1 of 10. Jessica sells 56.4 ounces of lemonade for a total of $28.20. Find the unit price in dollars per ounce. If necessary, round your answer to the nearest cent. Okay, so we have 56.4, and that's ounces. So we'll put OZ. And that is going to be a total of $28.20. So we could say for $28.20. That's fine. And then remember, when we're finding a unit price, that means there's going to be the cost of 1. So we're going to have dollars per ounce. So we're looking for 1 ounce and how many dollars. Okay, so we'll just put dollars so we know that's money. Okay, so how many dollars per ounce? And we're going to put dollars down below because dollars is down below over here. And if this was flipped over, no biggie. I would just flip this one over. I just have to match ounces with ounces and dollars with dollars. So now I have a good proportion. So I'm going to go ahead and use cross multiplication. So 56.4 times X equals, so basically I multiplied those two together, and now I'm going to multiply the other way. $28.20 times 1 is just $28.20. Okay, so now all I have to do is that math, which is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to have to divide by 56.4. On this side, divide by 56.4. On the other side, this is going to cancel, leaving me with X equals. Now, 28 is half of 56, and 2 is half of 4. So I know that $28.20 is exactly half of 56.4. So 1 half. Okay, so I can buy 1 ounce for a half of $1. Now it says to round my answer to the nearest cent. So now I'm going to have to go from dollars to cents, which means that my $1/2 will become 50 cents. It says that we should have our answer rounded to the nearest cent. So it is in dollars, but it is not going to be 1/2. It's going to be 0.50. Okay, look at question number 2. In 3 3/4 hours, Dave read 4 1/2 chapters. Okay, so we write down 3 3/8. So I got a blur here. Hours. Dave read 4 1/2 chapters. Okay, so then what is the unit rate in chapters per hour? So chapters per hour. We want to know the number of chapters per 1 hour is where we're going. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cross multiply this one too. If it was something really, really easy, like that was a 3 and that was a 1, we could just divide by 3 on both the top and the bottom, but it's not quite so easy. So let's go ahead and use our cross multiplication over the equal sign in a proportion. Okay, so here we go. It's an equal sign. And we're going to have 3 3/8 times x equals 4 1/2 times 1. Okay, so first of all, before we do anything else, let's look and see how they want us to leave our answer. We can leave our answer as a fraction or a mixed number. So I'm not wanting to go to decimals. These are already in the right form. So what am I going to do? I'm going to divide by 3 3/8. Now remember, when I am dealing with multiplication and division with my mixed numbers, I do have to turn them into improper fractions. So let's just go ahead and do that now. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 3 is 27 eighths x equals, and let's change this one, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9 halves. Now I'm trying to get rid of this 27 eighths, so I'm going to multiply by 8 over 27 and multiply on the other side by 8 over 27, which these are going to cancel out and just leave me with my x. Now, look over here. Some of you are still not terribly comfortable with canceling, but this is a canceling dream, isn't it? Look at that. We got 9 and 27, which is going to cancel. 9 times 3 is 27. So 1, 3, 2 and 8 is going to be 1 and 4. So basically, notice the 9 and the 3, I'm dividing both those by 9. And I can always cancel a numerator with a denominator. The 2 and the 8, both of those will have a 2 that will come out. They both have a 2 as a factor, so I get 1 and 4. So now my answer is 1 times 4, which is 4, over 1 times 3, which is 3. So 4/3, which is improper, so I'm going to go ahead and have to make that into a mixed number, which is 1 and 1/3. Okay, so now let's go back and interpret that into our word problem. Okay, we started out right up here with x being the number of chapters. So we would say that he read 1 and 1/3 chapters, okay, in 1 hour. All right, look at question number 3. It takes 3 3/5 minutes to fill an empty aquarium to a depth of 3/8 meters. What is the unit rate in minutes per meter? Write your answer as a fraction or a mixed number in simplest form. Okay, so we're going to start out with 3 3/5 minutes. Let's see if I can get my clarity back in. Minutes to fill an empty aquarium 3/8 meters. Okay, now remember, it does not matter which one goes on top and which one goes on bottom because we're going to match it on the other side. What is the unit rate in minutes per 1 meter? So this meter is going to go to 1. And we're going to say how many minutes? We'll put that as our x. Unit rate is something minutes per meter. Write your answer, fraction or mixed number. So again, we're going to cross multiply and get this into a form that is friendly. 3 3/5 times 1 is 3 3/5 equals 3/8 times x, which is 3/8 x. Okay, now we're going to have to get rid of this 3/8, so I can multiply it right now over here by 8/3, and on this side by 8/3. Now this right here, we're going to have to put into its improper form. 3 times 5 is 15, 16, 17, 18 fifths times 8/3 equals, now the 3/8 and the 8/3 will cancel, and there's my x. All right, let's see what will cancel. 3 does go into 18 evenly, and that's going to be 6 and 1, right? 18 divided by 3 is 6, so 6 over 1. And 8 and 5 don't cancel anything, and neither does 6 and 5, so we're ready to go ahead and multiply. 8 times 6 is 48. 1 times 5 is 5 equals x. So that is correct, but it is improper in form, and they told me to put it into a mixed number. So 5 goes into 48 9 times, so 9 would be 45 with 3 left over. So x equals 9 and 3/5. So let's go back. What was x? Okay, unit rate in minutes per meter. So x is how many minutes we had. So it's 9 and 3/5 meters. And we're done with the first page. Okay, so Josh, this is number 4. Josh, Tim, and Aldo made flyers last Thursday. The table below shows the number of flyers each person made and how much time each person spent. So Josh spent 27 minutes and he made 3 flyers. Jim spent 42 minutes and he made 6 flyers. And Aldo spent 80 minutes and he made 8 flyers. Write the time spent per flyer for each person. Then determine who worked the fastest. So if it's per flyer, then we want flyers to be 1. So we're going to say minutes per flyer is what we're looking for. We're looking for the rate of each person. Okay, so if we start with Josh, he had 27 minutes for 3 flyers, but we want 1 flyer on the bottom. And since this is easy division, can't we just say 3 divided by 3 would give us 1? So 27 divided by 3 would give us 9. So Josh was 9 minutes per flyer. 9 minutes. They've already got the minutes there, so I'll erase that. Jim was 42 minutes per 6 flyers, but we want 1 flyer, so we have minutes per 1 flyer. Okay, so we want the 6 to become a 1. We have to divide by 6 on the bottom, divide by 6 on the top. 42 divided by 6 is 7. So Jim was 7 minutes per flyer. And lastly, Aldo was 80 minutes to make 8 flyers, but I want that to go to 1 flyer. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. 80 divided by 8 is 10 minutes per flyer. Okay, select the person who worked the fastest. Okay, now the time spent per flyer. So if he's working the fastest, wouldn't this time be the least? Every flyer is going to take him the least amount of time. He would be the fastest guy, right? So the time spent, who's that? Jim. Jim will be the fastest because it's only taking him 7 minutes to make each flyer. So he is the fastest. Question number 5. A group of workers takes 4/5 days to paint 5/8 acres. What is the unit rate in acres per day? Write your answer in simplest form. Oh, excuse me. That's why I can't read. That's plant. I was going, why would you paint an acre? Miss A's eyes are not the best. Okay, so 4/5 days per 5/8 acres. Okay, and they're wanting it in acres per day, so you're really wanting the day on the bottom. You could do the problem with it on the top, and just remember that that's going to be 1 day over here. But let's just go ahead and flip this around since we know we're trying to find acres per day. You're going to flip this over, and acres 5/8 per 4/5 day. Okay, now just think about this. Try to reason it out a little bit. If we're trying to get acres per day, and right now here we have 4/5 of a day, then doesn't it make sense we'll have a little bit more than that? We'll have a little bit more than 5/8 acres. So 5/8 acres in 4/5 days, but what we're going to end up with is how many acres in 1 day? Because it says per day. Okay, so now we're going to try to get a 1 right here. So we have a fraction, 4/5. Can I just multiply by 5/4 there and 5/4 on the top? I can, can't I? Because 4/5 times 5/4 gives me the 1 day I'm looking for. So I'm just going to do it like that. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 5/4. And then this one's going to go out, and I'm just going to have 1 day on the bottom. And this one, let's look, we end up with 25. 5 does not cancel with anything. So we're going to end up with 25 30-seconds. 25 30-seconds. And nothing is going to simplify in that. 25 30-seconds is the answer. So we're going to write this as 25 30-seconds acres per 1 day. And that is the unit rate. Okay, I want to correct a little typo here. Over here is 25 over 32, and then when I rewrote it, I wrote it 25 over 37. It should have been 25 over 32. Miss A's getting tired. You can't see very well at night. Okay, look at question number 6. Teresa drove 648 miles in 9 hours. At the same rate, how many miles could she drive in 7 hours? Now, we're not looking for a unit rate. If we were looking for a unit rate, it would be 1 hour. But we're going to go ahead and write down what we have. 648 miles in 9 hours. And at the same rate, how many miles could she drive in 7 hours? So notice in this one, nothing goes to 1. So I'm going to definitely use cross multiplication here. I'm going to multiply this way and this way. And I'm going to do this one first. 9x is equal to, and 648 times 7. That's not something I carry in my back pocket. Let's do it. 648 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 5 is 33. And 6 times 7 is 42 plus 3 is 45. So over here, we're going to put 4536 because that's what we got right there. Okay, so there's our equation. We multiply this way and this way. Now, to get our x by itself, are we just going to divide both sides by 9 so that our 9s will cancel out? And this one looks like they gave us a pretty easy one. 4, 5, 3, 6 divided by 9. It's pretty easy because I know 9 goes into 45 and 9 also goes into 36. So let's do that. 9 into 45 is 5. 5 times 9 is 45. We bring down nothing and the 3. That one goes 0. But then we bring down the 6. 9 into 36 goes 4 times. And 504 is the answer. So we're going to say 504 miles, because that's what my x was, in 7 hours. Okay, the last one on this page is number 7. A certain medicine is given in the amount proportional to a patient's body weight. Suppose a patient weighing 116 pounds requires 126 milligrams of medicine. What is the amount of medicine required for a patient weighing 174 pounds? So, 116 pounds. Okay, that patient needs 126 milligrams. And then what is the amount of medicine? So we're going to put our X down here with the medicine. How many milligrams for a person weighing 174 pounds? Now, can you see how this would be very important in the medical field? And it could even be important if you were taking care of somebody that had to use medication on a regular basis. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cross multiply. Now remember, that's an L for pounds. It's not a 1. So we have 116 times X equals 126 times 174. Phew, I'm going to have to do that one too. Let me see if I can find a spot here. There's a spot right there. 174 times 126. 174 times 126. Okay? 4 times 6 is 24. 7 times 6 is 42. Plus 2 is 44. 1 times 6 is 6 plus 4 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8. 7 times 2 is 14. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. And then this is all by 1, so it's going to be 4, 7, 1. And I need to add all those together. So we got a 4 that comes down. I don't have much room here. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry the 1. 8, 9. Can go right there. And let's see if I can go ahead and make this have a spot. And then we did 9. So 10, 11, and 2. Okay, so 21924 is going to go right down here. 21924. So the last step is to get the x by itself. So we're going to divide by 116 and divide by 116. Okay, so that's the math we're going to have to do to find our x. Okay, let me see. 21924. See if we can do it right here. 21924 divided by 116, because that's our problem right there. Okay, right here. 21924 by 116. Okay, so this 116 goes into 219 one time. 1 times 116 is 116. I'm going to subtract and get a 3, 0, 1, 103. Pull down. Now we always check. Remember, 103 is less than 116. So we bring down the 2. And then we have this number into all of this. Now that's going to be pretty big. Let's see. Maybe a 9, maybe an 8. Let's go with, we'll try an 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 plus 4 is 12. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, so now let's look at that. 12 minus 8 is going to be 4. Yes, 4. And then that was borrowed against, and that's a 1. So 104 was right because that's 116. So 8. Now we're going to bring the last digit down, which is a 4. And we're going to go again. Now this was 1032, and that went 8 times. Let's see if this one will go 9. Let's just see. And 9 times 6 is 54. 9 plus 5 is 14. 9 times 1 plus 1. Yep, it's exact. They made it exact for us. So 189 is your X right here. Okay, so let's see if we can write that down. 189. And remember, that was in milligrams. Milligrams. 189 milligrams. Now, let's see if that makes sense. Okay. The first one was 116 pounds and required 126 milligrams. And then this other person weighs significantly more. So doesn't it make sense that they would have a lot more medicine? And 189 milligrams makes sense, doesn't it? All right, we are almost done. We're looking at number 8. And we're still on 7.2 and 7.3. So 9/12 equals y over 8. And we can do this one of two ways. If we want to, we could realize that 9/12 simplifies. And we could say, oh, 9/12 would be 3/4 equals y over 8. Multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, and y is 6. If you don't happen to see that, let's cross multiply. 9 times 8 is 72 equals 12 times y, which is 12y. Divide by 12. Divide by 12. And 72 divided by 12 is 6. And y is equal to 6. Okay, so either way, you're going to get the right answer. Okay, look at the next one. Question number 9. Solve the following proportion for y. You know, this one doesn't lend itself to anything quite so nice as that one up there did, because 6 does not go into 17 evenly. Let's just cross multiply. 17y is equal to 6 times 7, 42. So that's our equation. Divide by 17, divide by 17. Y is 42, because that's going to cancel. 42 over 17. Now, we are to leave our answer to the nearest tenth, which means we're going to have to do division. 42 divided by 17. 17 goes into 42 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 1 plus 1 more is 3. So 34 from 42 is 8. Bring down a 0, because remember, that's going to be a decimal there and a decimal there. You just add zeros. Bring down the 0. 17 into 80 is going to go 4 times, I think. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6. 80 minus 68 is 12. And 12 is less than 17, so we're on track. We bring down another 0. And 17 into 120 is going to go maybe, let's try something like 7. 7 and 7 is 49. 7 plus 11. Okay, so that's going to be 11. Ooh, boy, that was close. All right, look what I got. 120 minus 119 is 1. Bring down another 0. That's going to be a 0. Now, what did they tell me to round to? I don't need to go any further, do I? I'm supposed to go to the nearest 10th. And the 10th place is right there. So I'm going to look right to the right, and I'm going to say that's bigger than 5. So that's going to round this one up, and the answer is 2.5. And, oops, circle it like that. All right, so the last one is 8/5 equals u over 12. We're going to round to the nearest 10th. Okay, so again, it does not look like anything's going to help me as far as using anything besides cross multiplication. So 8 times 12 is 96, and 5 times u is 5u. That didn't even look like a u. There we go. All right, so now what are we going to do? 96 divided by 5, because I'm going to divide by 5 and divide by 5 on this side. And 96, we'll put a decimal, put the decimal up there, stick a 0 in. 5 into 9 goes 1, and 1 times 5 is 5. 4, 6, bring down the 6. So 5 goes into 46 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. Bring down 1, bring down my 0, which is the next thing to come down. 5 into 10 goes 2. And the nearest 10th would be 19.2, because that right there is the 10th place. And we are done. Now you're going to find all of these sheets, beautiful as they are, I'll scan these on my phone and put them on Teams for you. You already have another copy on Teams of your homework and your video sheet. Your video homework, and this video will be found on YouTube, and its link will be on Teams. So you should be very well equipped to get everything done. And I will not see you anymore this week because I'm going to be gone to graduation. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday. Remember, you will have a quiz on this material on Monday. This is Mrs. A, and may God bless your day.